Thursday evening, the 15th of April, and this is race number 10 of 11 in the L2S race community season 2. Good evening from my commentator's booth, and we will see the second last race, the penultimate race of season 2 of the L2S community, and that will bring us to COTA Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. We will see a 18 minutes qualifying followed by a 50% race distance, what was I think 28 laps. We will have equal car performances, not even that, but unique car liveries, so not the standard real life teams we drive in unique creations. Of course, we will have full rules and flags, safety car, VSC, all that is on, full damage, dynamic weather. This is sometimes a topic in Austin in our Tier 2 race. Just 1.5 hours ago, we had a rainy qualifying. Let's see if that might continue in Tier 1 too. A short look at the assists that are allowed, or rather not, and this is a short look at the track we are facing in. This is once or twice or 27 times around the Cobra here in Texas. Track difficulty is set to easy. Not quite sure about that, especially the fast unrhythmic turns in sector 1 are really vicious. You need a lot of downforce there, but cannot pack too much of downforce on your car, because then you will drown on the long straight of sector 2. Yeah, the general situation in the Tier 1 of L2S, we have already a champion crowned, that is this man. Once again, congratulations to Chris Tam, who has won the championship already 2 races before the last race, 2 races before the final. He did the same in Tier 2 last year and therefore got the promotion up into Tier 1, and now did just the same in Tier 1. He has been our pole king, I would like to call him. And official, the still reigning champion from season 1 is pushed back into the second row now. And there is still a few things that need to be settled. The champion is already crowned, okay, but there's still a vivid and valid fight going on for a few positions. Like, second position is still up for grabs. We see Golden Pickle with 98 points, and in third Mark Ainley with 90 points, only 6 points away from each other. Golden Pickle, there he is, and Mr. Mark Ainley has not checked. There he is. There's Mark Ainley. Okay, so battle for second is on. And we have few more positions that are very close, like P5, 6, 7, and 8. That is Slayer, Castro France, Infamous, and John Butter. Those 4 drivers are within 9 points. So P5 to P8, everything is still possible. Slayer, Castro France, Infamous, and John Butter. Slayer, I already saw his name, there he is. Infamous, I think I've seen already too. There he is. And we need John Bunter and Castro France. John Bunter and Castro France are not here tonight. There's Castro France. Okay, so only John Bunter in his pink car is sadly missing for tonight, and therefore he will miss valid points. Big points for the fight for P5 even in the end. And there are a lot more positions in the midfields that are very close. For example, the drivers Laurentier, Aces versus Kings, and Chair P are very close, battling for P11. And maybe battle for P15, Dean Cunha, Serious Mushroom, and Frenzy. And we have 3 drivers who would at the moment be standing on relegation places, so they need to battle to stay in Tier 1 and not be downgraded to Tier 2 maybe at the end of the season. That is Ryan Van Doom, Ballox, and Morshatit. Let's have a quick look. Ballox, there he is. Ryan Van Doom and Morshatit are not in here tonight, sadly. Okay, well, it is as it is. We're still waiting. Maybe there are still a few drivers in the wake trying to join. I have a short look in the background chatter, what's going on, or if there's anything going on. Yeah, anyway, this is the second season of Tier 2. We have seen the first one with a bit of up and down, but it was a very good season, very competitive season, just like now the Season 2. But Season 2 and Season 3 are shortened, so we see 2 half seasons with 11 races each to finish the seasons in time until the new game will arrive. Today it was released by EA Masters. That's by EA and Codemasters, that the F1 21 game will be released on July the 16th, and we should have a good closing date for our Season 3. I have a short look into our race calendar, and perfectly. It would work perfectly. The last race in Season 3 is scheduled for July the 8th. So perfectly 1 week before the new game will arrive. That will then be in Abu Dhabi. So we are still at the number of 16 drivers. I did not see any name jump in. Landobot is still the last one who has entered the lobby. So for the moment, until our host Dean Cunha has decided to kick us off, I will be silent for a moment, and we'll be back with you shortly. And there it is, off we go, and we see already the first picture of the Cobra, the platform there it is on the right hand side, the platform to watch over the whole race, the whole track. You can see every corner, every inch from the Cobra head platform there. The place to be for every American F1 fan, of course. And here we are in the Texas pit lane. This time everything looks quite nice, fair weather. Differently than our Tier 2 qualifying just 2 hours ago. Very silent still, so almost 1.5 minutes has already passed until the first one decides to go out on the track. Meanwhile, I will get our telemetry homepage going very much thanks to igk-tas.fr, Frenchman who is creating a telemetry homepage. Very cool tool. And here we are with our tank, fastest tank of the world, the camouflage livery of our uncrowned champion, official champion of season 1. Let's see how or if he might bounce back in season 3 then from this loss. So a little tradition of mine is to stay on board with the first one on our hard lap, and we are already at the end of sector 1, beginning of sector 2. The unrhythmic SS and the very long straight here in sector 2. Oh, a little bit of a slide while accelerating from official. And right here you just cannot have too much of downforce, otherwise you will be buried against your opponents on the straight. And sector 3, some medium of fast-paced turns. The last 2 left-handers here. And this is your track. This is a hard lap on the Austin track. First time is a 1:31.5. That's already, yeah, I would say a quite competitive time, but will probably not hold up until the very end of the qualifying. I suppose that we will find out about that in the upcoming 13 minutes. Let's see. Mark Ainley has already invalidated his lap time. And Dean Cunha, our host, first one to improve the lap time from official by just half a tenth. Let's see what Chimio is doing. With John Bunter inactive tonight, he or maybe Landawat will have the most pink car, if I can say so. His is actually not pink, it's rather purple maybe. Let's stay with him and let's have a look how much of purple is in his lap time. P3, and I have a look into the telemetry tool and I can tell that at least sector 2 was purple from Chimio, beating the Cunha and official times by almost half a second. And that can only mean that Chimio has a lot less downforce on his car and therefore is quicker on the long straight in the middle sector, while we see a new pole setter time aces versus kings, beating Cunha by 9 thousandths. Can it get much closer? So, what else is going on? Let's have a look. Chappy, one of our admins, who... is he on a hot lap or not? Not so sure right now at the moment, I admit. I'm a bit confused because of the one that's already next to his name, one lap on his softs. That could mean that he is actually on an in lap back to his pit crew. No, he goes through. And is our new pole setter, 131.2, having posted purple sector times in sector 2. So let's have a look. What is our pole king doing? Chris Tam right now sitting in P9. Aha, and his minimap is colored red. That means his lap time got deleted. And he runs through. He will have another hot lap shot. And so he obviously must have enough of gasoline with him. Yeah, let's stay with him for a moment. Chris Tam has been the absolute pole king. He was it in Tier 2 and he just never stopped after he got promoted to Tier 1. Let's have a look how he performs here in Sector 1. 24.3. Quick look in our telemetry tool. He is level on times in Sector 1 with our new pole setter, Royal Harvey. He was exactly 2 thousandths faster in Sector 1 than Royal Harvey, but it doesn't matter because the lap time is invalid. Yeah, I didn't mention that yet, but you can already see it by now. Track limits is a extremely big topic here in Austin. We have seen a bunch of penalties in the Tier 2 race, and always when you race with strict corner cutting rules, this just goes through the roof here in Austin, and Chris Tam just goes for another lap. So he has a whole bunch of gasoline with him so that he can do 3 hot laps in a row, and He already invalidated on the start-finish straight. He will be angry now. He need to do one senseless lap now. And time is running out. Only we are within the 8 minutes mark, so he cannot wait too long until he gets on a hot lap. So, Official, meanwhile, has posted a better lap time. He has improved his formerly posted time, but not enough. Official into P2, followed by Aces vs Kings, Chappie, and Infamous. And a bit of a wiggle from Chris Tam. We have a new pole setter. That is Mr. Golden Pickle. And now, haha, finally Chris Tam goes back to his pit crew. And that means we jump to another driver. Maybe let's have a look at the half and half black and yellow Slayer car. Half and half always reminds me of Two-Face, Harvey Dent. And here we ride on board, on his shoulder, so to say, as he's on the long main straight. End of sector 2. I have a look into the telemetry tool. The times are okay, but not that good. For example, it looked like he would be somewhere on a level to Infamous or Chappie, so P6, P7. Oh, and he aborts his lap. No time for Slayer still. He and Tom, Landabot, Cedars Mushroom, Ryan Van Doom. Those 5 drivers still without the time set here, with a bit more than 5 minutes left, and no one of them is on a hot lap. Only Ryan Van Doom, there he is in his almost total black livery. Ryan Van Doom on an outlap, and now Landobot. Oh man, can that be? Landobot just started his hot lap, but is already invalid. My goodness. Dean Cunha, meanwhile, improving his lap time up into P3. Not bad. The time from our host. Very unique way that Landobot in his very colorful 90s years style livery shows us here. Reminds me a bit of some, what is it? Maybe a pink Benetton or something. So, 4 minutes left. Let's have a look who might be on a hot lap here. Mark Ainley. Nope, he is not. Dean Cunha will come back to his pit crew and... Serious Mushroom has retired. I'm searching over the minimap. There is no car on the track that might look like he crashed. Can only mean that the mushroom, the toad, thinks there is no need to put in a lap time. Okay. Adding a bit of challenge to his race event later then. Let's have a look what's going on. Ryan Van Doom, still one of them who did not post a time yet. This is already his final shot. He will not have enough time to return to his pit crew and get a fresh set of tire. So this time, this lap has got to be it for him. 24/7 in the first sector is okay, but not great. Chappie on P7, for example, was already faster than him. In sector 2, 37.0. That is again a bit slower than Chappie. So that's around where he could end up. P8, P9 maybe. Let's see where his time will stop then in the end. P11. 2 seconds behind Golden Pickle, and he is actually already finished. So maximally P11, the starting position for Ryan Van Doom. Still without a hot lap time. Landobot. And he just brings it home here, and he will be in 5th. Quite good. Not bad. Landobot up in P5. And what is the Slayer doing? Nothing. Slayer. Ooh, Slayer is slow. Lap is invalid. This might mean that our reigning vice champion from season 1 might be in last position then. Depends if he maybe has enough of gasoline with him to go on another hot lap. If not, this is it for the Slayer. The pole chasers, all of them on an out lap right now. They will start their each hot lap in just a moment. For the minute, let's have a look what Aces versus Kings is doing. He is at the end of sector 2. He has improved his time by 3 thousandths, so that would mean he will stay in P6. Maybe he is under pressure from behind from Castor France, very close. Castor France only needs to find the 10th, and he is ahead by 2 or even 3, maybe even 4 drivers. Therefore, it would be important for Aces versus King to improve his time, and he does, but just barely. Doesn't give him a push. Here is Castor France. Let's have a look what his first sector will bring. A little bit of improvement. If you can add on it, have a look how close it is. Plus 0.5 on a lot of drivers. So if you can find just a little bit more, he might be even up into P3 like where Dean Cunha is. For the moment, the pole chasers. Golden Pickle, our pole setter for the moment. Because Castor France, Chris Tam is finished. Chris Tam, no time set. His final shot got deleted again. So no pole for Chris Tam here tonight. I'm having a look into our telemetry tool. Official had a purple first sector, but I think his lap time got deleted. Royal Harvey in the pole. Royal Harvey up into the pole very late, but Golden Pickle can counter it. Golden Pickle, the counter to get him back south in the P1 again. Then Chappie pushing up into P3 very late. But Castor France, I said it, Castor France with a good lap. He could jump ahead by a lot of drivers, and that he did. He just did it up into P3. Chappie, Cunha, official. Aces versus Kings is not on a hot lap anymore, as we can see him digging out of the grass. Is Jimmy O maybe still on a hot lap? Oh yes, and what a hot one! Pushing him up into P3, second starting row for Jimmy O and Castor France. Both of the second starting row drivers pushed ahead very late, and we see 4 drivers who did not set the time. 4 drivers without a time. That is really a lot. So this is our final qualifying result and our starting grid. Golden Pickle in the pole. in front of Royal Harvey, then Jimmy O and Castor France. Third starting row, Chappie and Dean Cunha in 7 official. 8 goes to Landerbot, P9 Infamous, P10 Mark Ainley. 11th is Ryan Van Doom, P12 Ballox. And no time set for our Pole King, Chris Tam, Serious Mushroom, Slayer, and Aces vs Kings got disqualified and therefore all of his hot lap times deleted. So we have still half a minute left until the drivers can load their strategy into the game and put in some minor tweaking changes of the setup. And I will be back with you in just a moment. So we will see a 28 laps race. Let's have a look first about the tire strategy. We see a dry race, dry start, so the tire rules are applied. Speaking about tire rules, here's the predicted pit stop strategy from the Amazon Web Services. That's what Mario Isola from Pirelli advises. Top 10 have to start on the softs, of course, just like qualified. From P11 on, Ryan Van Doom and beyond, the drivers have free option of tire. And most of the drivers P11 and beyond opted to go on mediums. Only the ace in last position has decided to start on softs. Yeah, the pickle is rather flying through his parade lap, installation lap, parade lap, how it was called in earlier times. So with our telemetry tool, I can tell you that it is a cloudy weather day. We have air temperature of only 17 degrees. That sounds a little bit cold actually for Texas. So, the penultimate race of Season 2 is on. The 5 red lights, and we have a go, go, go in Texas. Everyone galloping up into turn 1. Good start from Golden Pickle. Behind, it's a little bit of wheel to wheel, but turn 1 allows it. into turn 2 and 3, and the S's, I have not seen any trouble. Right when I say it, there is some yellow and a safety car. Right when I said it, there was a safety car. There is no driver who is out, at least not DNF'd. Here we see the Ace, who was digging out of an accident. He is lacking a complete front wing. So there was a big issue for him. Let's have a look. Ryan Van Doom, who had a -4 on the start. Big loser of the start. There's damage to his front wing too on the right hand side. Serious mushroom. I can't depict it from this camera angle, of course. I'm trying to find out who is damaged, but of course we have a telemetry tool who tells me. And if I look into that, I can tell you that Slayer has big front wing damage, and Ryan Van Doom, and Aces versus Kings, who is lacking a total front wing. So these names we will probably see an early pit stop coming up very, very soon. And here are the pits. Don't get confused from the table that's always happening in lap 2 of the race. So let's focus on who's in the pits. Let's Landobot, Ryan Van Doom, Mark Ailey. Oh, stopping for hearts. Slayer needing a new nose, of course. Likewise, 2 Aces versus Kings. So let's have a look about the tires from those who stopped. We see 2 of our drivers who opted for hards. That is Mark Ailey and Ryan Van Doom. And 3 on fresh mediums, Landobot, Slayer and the Ace. Yeah, I admit that I probably would have opted for mediums too, because it's so early in the race and those who run on hards, they cannot make it through the race anyway. So they will probably lose time compared to the drivers around them on mediums. Both have to stop again, so I probably would have opted for mediums too. And here is our leader. P1 goes to Golden Pickle. P0, Bernd Mailänder in the safety car, of course. So, as we have a bit of time, let's have a look. I suppose that every driver will try to go on lean engine mode, and sadly we still have a few drivers who did not open their telemetry tool to us. That is Castor France 2. Castor France 2 is actually P1 Golden Pickle. Then we see Serious Mushroom in 11. Yeah, that is correct. And P13 Mark Ainley. Those 3 drivers, sadly, I cannot give you information about their car. The rest I can. And so I can tell you that at the moment, of course, everyone, not even everyone, a few drivers, the most drivers are running on lean engine mode to save fuel. Okay, there are a handful of drivers who are on medium. Okay, that maybe they just forgot to switch. But we see who is it? Landobot and Infamous, who are running on rich engine mode. I don't quite understand why you run in rich behind a safety car, but okay. Okay. That is actually not as important as the amount of fuel the drivers have with them, and that is partly really a lot, because we see, for example, Jappy, who has Chappie and Dean Cunha 2.9, so almost 3 laps of excess fuel. Infamous 3.17, Chris Tam even 3.4. Slayer 3.9, almost 4 laps of excess fuel. Wow, that's really a lot. Really a lot. But everyone, yes, everyone now as a safety car will be in this lap. Everyone will change the engine setting now to rich to get the most out of their engine. Pretty sure about that. And then in lap 3, or at the beginning of lap 4, we will see a flying start then. So right now in the last sector, Golden Pickle is pacing the field. Safety car lights are out. And to some moment he will try to run away, and that is now, shortly before the last turn. He has picked up the pace, and with this flying start we are now into the race. Finally, Royal Harvey could not attack Pickle, but Casto France maybe does so on Chappie. No, he does not. And in the background here is official Cunha Infamous, and we have the first penalty. We have not seen the first complete lap of green condition, but we have already seen the first plus 3 seconds penalty. That's what I meant in qualifying. So on this track, the penalty seconds pile up. And ironically, and okay, now it changed. Jimmy O is always switching between engine mode 1 and 3, and he overtook Chappie in a moment when Chappie was in 3 and Jimmy was in 1. But there's a big group here. Have a look how many drivers are stacking up here behind Jimmy O. Jimmy O now looks like he has a better traction, better acceleration out of the turns. But in the background, oh, there's a battle, maybe. Oh no, it is not. It is not battle. Straight line speed for Chappie compared to Casto France, and right behind, Official is already in the gearbox of Casto. Let's have a look at the situation here from the view of the rear wing from Casto, from Chappie. Really interesting to watch this S's, this endlessly seeming S's in the rear view. Chappie is already out of the DRS window from Jimmy O ahead, and there was a little bit of yellow. Infamous has maybe spun, and we see a VSC. VSC, what is going on? I didn't see a crash, didn't see a big incident. Oh, there was an incident. Ryan Van Doom lacks a nose. Ryan Van Doom. The next one, just like Ace vs Kings ahead in lap 1. Ryan Van Doom had a big accident. I did not catch that. I didn't see why or with whom. In our telemetry tool is not written if or who Ryan Van Doom crashed with, just that he has broke his complete front wing. And we see another pit stop. Casto France is in. Casto France, that is an early stop. That's interesting. I don't quite understand. It's not depicted as if he would have damage. Soft to mediums. Right at the end of a safety car, right at the end of a VSC. So the field was very close. He probably had to know that he would then be in last position. He is last, except of course Ryan Van Doom, who needed a pit stop too. And he pitted for mediums. He cannot run through on this set of mediums. I don't understand. I don't quite understand this stop. But okay, it is as it is. And in the lead, we see a lead change. First DRS overtake from Royal Harvey against the Pickle. And let's have a look if Golden Pickle can stay close enough to maybe counter this attack a bit later. Bit of a locked tire, but not a big problem. Here you heard the beep. That was the sign that he can activate DRS. Ooh, late brake, almost ran into the rear of Royal Harvey there in turn 1. And let's have a look how close, or if at all, he can stay here with Royal Harvey in the S's. Royal Harvey needed a bit of wide lane there, and this looks like as if Golden Pickle could possibly be in a position to counter, to reconquer his lead. Royal Harvey trying to get out of the way, making it harder for Pickle to catch a slipstream, and now at the end of the long straight, late attack, but he is through. And he pushed Royal Harvey a little bit out of the track, but Harvey is still there, defending it wheel to wheel. Now the next turn in favor of the Pickle, and he made it. Cut back inside from Harvey did not work because the next turn is in favor of the Pickle, and now he finally managed to push through. This is the view of Royal Harvey. Meanwhile, we see Dean Cunha pushing ahead of Chris Tam and... Oh no, I'm sorry, it was Infamous. And now Royal Harvey is chasing the Pickle again. So, same situation as before, just with switched names. Now Royal Harvey is the one who will try to stay close in the SS and then will be allowed to open the rear wing on the long straight. He looks like he would be close enough for an attack. Now the first penalties are incoming. DRS is opened, yes it is. Slipstream and to the inside, that will work a lot easier. Yes, for the moment, yes. Golden Pickle again, locked tire. On the outside, just the same as in the lap before, but Royal Harvey has spun. Royal Harvey has lost it. Oh no. Too early, too impatient on the acceleration. And let's have a look how far behind Harvey drops. P10 and wiggling on his tire. That is probably heated right now. 43% his tire degradation. That would be okay. That would not be too much to bear for this soft tire. Have a look, he's sliding and losing more traction and more positions. Again, another one has gone missing. This time to land a bot. And another one. And here's the next one. Balox is through. Aces versus Kings is through. Just imagine 1 lap ago Royal Army was the leader. Now he's only in P13 anymore. So let's say maybe with this group, Vivid battle for P10 indirectly. ERS train ahead. Here is no attack. Oh, there's a late attack. Inside from Mark Ainley against Royal Harvey. The next position that Harvey drops. Oh, he will be angry right now. Right here, it was right here where he lost it. Just 1 lap ago. That costed him almost everything in this race. And for the moment, let's have a look at another big group. This is just a few positions ahead. Oh, pit stops, Official and Chappie. I wanted to talk about this group. This is Slayer chasing Mushroom Tom Infamous. And here we are in the middle of the pack with Chris Tam, who started very, very behind in the field and is now already up in 5th. Infamous leading this train. That's his quote. He likes to talk about trains. And Chris Tam very closer to Kunya, but he knows that Kunya will have DRS2 attack already before the DRS zone, and it worked for the moment. All of these guys will now be able to activate DRS, so more or less no advantage really for anyone. Serious Mushroom pushing against Kunya. And it worked for the moment. This is the view from the Mushroom. Slayer, this guy right here looks very aggressive too. A bit of lifting here in turn 18. And now we see pit stop from Infamous. So, Official is the only one from the ongoing pit stop window who opted for hards. Have a look. Slayer on the inside, wheel to Kunya. Oh, you cannot go wheel to wheel in the S's. Oh, and Slayer lifted. Slayer back down. Kunya received a warning for that. Dean Kunya is struggling on his tire. I have a look into the telemetry and I can tell you that Dean Kunya has the most degraded tire and therefore loses now even 2 positions. Yes, it is 2. Landobot. Oh no, it's not 2. Landobot, who crashed a little bit, tagged a little bit the rear of Slayer, and therefore had to draw back. Slight front wing damage for Chris Tam now. This is the view of the colorful car of Landobot. Slayer now ahead and maybe gone for Kunya, and Kunya is into the pits. We see yellow in sector 1. Ryan Van Doom, by the way, is out of his race. He retired in the pits. Very fair maneuver from him. So yeah, what's going on? Dean Kunya was in the pits. He was the one with the worst tire set. 60% of degradation on his softs from the start. And Konya will go on in the race on a set of mediums, so he will have to stop again. Official, who's the only one on hards, he might maybe try to go through on this set. We will find out if that works. And here we watch the red car of the ace. Aces versus kings, who is rather close to Bellox. He came a bit closer in the DS zone, but no chance for an attack for him. And the Golden Pickle, the leader, is in the pits. Fresh mediums. Oh, dangerous acceleration there for the ace, and therefore he lost the position to Mark Ainlay. Ainlay on hards, stopped very early on this set of hards. Chris Tam now in the lead, coming from the back of the starting grid and up into the prime position now for him. He will have, I would like to suggest 2 or 3 more laps on his mediums, and then we'll switch over to hards and finish the race on it. His tire regulation from Chris Tam is quite acceptable actually. 47% on the rears. So we are still with this 3-man group existing of aces versus kings, Margainley and Bellox still. And behind, a few positions behind them, we see a battle between Official and Golden Pickle. Official on his hearts will try to go through. Golden Pickle on his mediums, I'm not sure if you can go through. This might have been a mistake from Pickle to go on mediums, because his prime opponents, that is Official, that is then probably Chris Tam, Serious Mushroom, those guys probably will try to go through on one stop. While Pickle, I don't think that he can make his tires last so long that he can go through on this set of mediums now. Let's have a look about telemetry stuff. Chris Tam leading with 51% of tire degradation on his rears. Further we see what else could be interesting. Bellox in 5th has orange tires, 48% of degradation on him. So those 2 guys can make the tires last maybe 2 laps more or so. But it's already a pretty good result for them. So making it half the race on their starting tire. While we see a wheel-to-wheel action here from Chappie versus Jimmy-O. And Jimmy-O pushed through. Jimmy-O up and into P10. Final point of this race would go to Jimmy-O if the race was over now. And behind them, Casto France against Infamous. Casto France, who had this very early pit stop. Speaking about pit stop, next one goes to Serious Mushroom. I suppose he will finish the race on wood. Right when I say it, my eyes plop out. I wanted to say, I suppose he will try to finish the race on hards, but no. Serious Mushroom has opted to go for soft. Okay. Soft tire for the mushroom. The toad, who has a profile picture from the toad from Super Mario. Yeah, not sure if that was a good idea. Not sure if he can make it over the race on this set. If he needs to have another pit stop, that will be pretty dooming for his race strategy. So what else is going on? Oh, there was a problem from Landabot. He dropped down into P8 on his more or less chewed up tires. Chris Tam still running on his mediums from the start. Oh, Landabot losing another position here to Jimmy O. Yeah, that's a bit the problem if you read too much of telemetry information, because you sometimes just miss out what's happening on the track. I just wanted to have a look about the tire situation for Chris Tam, who is still running on his starting tire, likewise to Slayer and Bellox, the top three, all of them on 15 laps old softs. And the tire situation, the degradation looks the best actually for Slayer. They are very similar to each other, all of them in orange, turning red soon. 60% on the rears for Tam. Meanwhile, only 47 to Slayer, and Bellox is somewhere in between them. Further, we see Aces versus Kings in P6 on 13 laps old mediums. And ironically, the 13 laps old mediums of the Ace are more degraded than the 15 laps old from Slayer. And another interesting thing, because the Ace is the only one who has higher tire degradation on his front tires than on rear. And now we see pit stops. Chris Tam in, Ballox in. Chris Tam, I expected so that he will not finish the race on softs, on hards. He tried to make this tire set last long enough to then finish the race on softs. That is just what he did. He will be the fastest driver in the field now. And Ballox was in the pits too. Ballox now on softs too. Same strategy. So for Chris Tam and Ballox and Slayer, if you can make your mediums last for 14-15 laps, you probably can make the softs last for 12 too. So they will probably try and go through. There is a fight in the ahead in the front. It was official against Mark Ainley. He pushed through. Official will try to go through Mark Ainley on his 14 laps old soft hards. Ah, damn it. Can't see it. Ainley, one of those who did not put the telemetry in public settings, so I sadly don't get information about his tire set. Slayer, the leader, now finally in the pits. He will stop for softs. 57% of tire degradations, actually not that much. He could have had a few more laps, but why wait? Your times will not get better when the longer you wait. So 10.5 laps left in this race. Golden Pickle is back in the lead, followed by who is it? Who is it? Mark Ainley or Jimmy O. Right now it looks like Jimmy, but that could change very soon again. Uh-oh, front wing damage from Mark Ainley. Oh, and Official. Official has a totally damaged front wing. Official, there has been a big problem. Pit stops necessary. Ainley and who else is it? The Ace. Aces versus Kings. Oh yeah, 64% of tire degradation on his front tires. Ooh, what happened to Official? Into the pits, our Season 1 champion. Official is out of his car. Maybe annoyed or angry for whatever it was that happened to him. But he decided not to pursue the end of the race. While Landabot, Aces versus Kings and Mark Ainley have all come into the pits at once. Aces versus Kings, he just needed new tires because he was still running on very old mediums, I think. But Landobot, Mark Ainley and Official, they came in simultaneously and there might have been some incidents. We will have to try and watch, try and find out in the background chat if there is some information. I am already on my way to there. No word yet. No word yet. We will see if that should stay that way. Meanwhile, our pole king, Chris Tam, who is he? Where is he? Oh, in second. I searched the whole grid and didn't find him because he is in second. He is, yeah, our pole king. He is so viciously fast in the qualifying. And now we have a almost qualifying situation. The car is getting lighter. Tank is empty. And he has fresh soft tire. That means he will be the fastest driver on the in the field right now. He is pushing like hell now, I expect, to catch up to Golden Pickle, to close the 3.5 seconds of gap. He still has 8 plus the rest of this lap of time for it, and lap wise that can work. That definitely can work now, as everyone should be through on the tire strategy and pit stops. Let's have a look about the penalty situation. It's not that much. I expected a bit more, to be honest. I feared more, a bit more. Just a few plus threes. Chris Tam, Jappy, no, Infamous it was. Cunha, Lando Bot, Royal Harvey on plus 3, and then a handful of multiple plus 3s for the others like Jimmy O, Bellox, Jappy. He's in the pits. Okay. Fresh softs for him at the end of the race. It's maybe only Royal Harvey who will need another stop. I don't know if he can make his mediums last so long. They are... no, he can't. They are already degraded on 45%, so he must stop again. No chance otherwise for him. And Jimmy O had to bow to the mushroom on the fastest of the tire. Serious Mushroom pushing onto the podium here late, and with the tire advantage, I'm not sure if Jimmy O could possibly counter it. And let's have a look on the race from Chris Tam. He has already closed the gap down to 1 second. He will be inside. Yeah, he is inside the DRS window right now, but the next detection is then for the start-finish straight. Let's have a look into the telemetry tool. Chris Tam has 1.3 laps of excess fuel left, so that is not bad for 6 laps remaining, so he can push on the the ridge engine mode a lot. He has 35% of ERS left, so overtake button is available even if not that long. Golden Pickle sadly did not deliver us this information, so I sadly cannot compare those two drivers right now who will battle it out for the victory, but it looks so much faster how Chris Tam can race on his tires. Then 8 seconds of gap, so really a lot. But Chris Tam, he can not only overtake, he needs to run away by a few seconds. Because, there you see, he has a +3 on penalties. That means Chris Tam must overtake Pickle and then get himself a gap of 3 or more seconds within the next 5.5 laps. The first attack, is it already the only one necessary? It almost looks like. Bit of attack there, and. It is. Just one DRS attack was enough, but he is not finished yet. The Pickle, he tried to pull in on the inside, but maybe a little bit of a push or attack, but no problem, no bigger problem, no big collision between those two drivers. And now DRS window in favor of Golden Pickle, and Pickle picked up a penalty. That is a deciding factor. I just wanted to say that Tam now needs to run away by 3+ seconds in the last 4.5 laps, but that information is not correct anymore, because with both +3 seconds of penalty, Chris Tam can stay just where he is, as long as he doesn't pick up another penalty. By the way, only 2 drivers left in the field who are not penalized. That's Serious Mushroom and the Slayer. That is quite good, I would like to say, because Slayer, for example, would be ranked up into P4, would jump over Jimmy O and Infamous, so he doesn't even have to overtake them. Does not look like as if Golden Pickle would be able to attack Chris Tam anymore, as Tam is just running away on his better tire. So let's have a look what's going on here. It has already gone on. Slayer pushing out of Infamous. The two friends, the two racing lads. And Slayer ahead, at least for the moment. He's running on the faster soft tire. So that is definitely in favor for the Slayer. Yeah, and you can visually see how Infamous is losing ground. Slayer is just running away from him here. A few turns were only necessary for Slayer to maybe push out of the DRS window. Yeah, not quite, not quite. 9/10 the gap on DRS detection. The wing isn't open. The wing is not open. So the penalty situation is an interesting one. Jimmy O will drop down not only behind Slayer but behind Infamous then too. And he would drop behind Landobot too if he hadn't 6 penalty seconds on his account too. Then we see a bunch of 6s. Landobot, Bellox, Kunya, Royal Harvey. So that would equalize each other. And with plus 12 on Chappie and Casto France, that would mean that Aces vs Kings will not be last then in the end. I'm having a look into our overall standings, the championship standings, if how things look right now, if that would have any big effect. Jimmy O right now with the penalty would be granted 10 points. That's a big load. That's 1/3 of his whole season points then, but it wouldn't push him anywhere. I would push him ahead of Chappie if Chappie doesn't score, and it looks like as if Chappie wouldn't score, so yep, that would be in favor then. Jimmy O would then be ranked ahead by 1 position. Who else? I'm trying to compare these standings in the race here right now. Slayer would get closer to official, but I think not overtake him yet. Infamous, yes. Infamous would jump ahead. With his 8 points he will jump ahead of Casto France then. Yeah, but so no big movements, just 1 or 2 drivers jumping ahead by a position or 2, but no big differences then in the end for the standings. Yeah, and we are lap 27, 1.5 laps left for this guy, Chris Tam, who started in, what was it, P15, P16? 13, plus 12. Really good race for Chris Tam once again. He has shown us tonight why he is the deserved victor of Season 2. A great race for Serious Mushroom, likewise pushing ahead by 11 positions. And Slayer with plus 10, that is really good too. Yeah, Chris Tam, I'm very intrigued, very interesting how things will be in next season then. Chris Tam, last season he was the pole king and eventually the champion of Tier 2. He got promoted into Tier 1 and just never stopped. He just went on being pole king, went on winning the championship. And in Tier 2 we had this driver by the name of Reyat Sudin, who entered the league, and the first thing he did you can guess maybe, being pole king and eventually winning the Tier 2 championship. And Rayazudin therefore deserved to be promoted into Tier 1 for Season 3, and this will be a very interesting, I mean hopefully it will be a very interesting fight between Rayazudin then and Chris Tam. And one more background story I add to it, because Rayazudin, the pole setter, mostly pole setter for Tier 2, was almost every time he was faster than the pole setter of Tier 1, and that was mostly this guy Chris Tam. So Rayazudin will bring a lot of pace into the league. So, just a few turns left until Chris Tam will celebrate yet another victory for him. And Golden Pickle was able to stay within 1.4 seconds. That means if Pickle didn't pick up the plus 3 seconds penalty, he would have been able to stay close enough to be the champion in the end, the victor for tonight. But no, he did not, because victory goes to this man once again. Congratulations, Chris Tam. In second, then still a good race for Golden Pickle and a monstrously good result in the end for the Toad, bringing it home very close, but he made it. Serious Mushroom ahead of Slayer, who pushed up into P4. Great race for him. With a bit of tag here at the very end. The CPU drivers crashing right after the checkered flag. And this is it. The penultimate race of Season 2 is officially ended. Just one race left. That will be then next week's Thursday evening, of course. Here's our podium. Big leap for him, waving to us. Here's his trophy, his cup, and a whole lot of virtual champagne for Chris Tam and Golden Pickle. So this is the final result after penalties. Chris Tam has won in front of Golden Pickle and the Serious Mushroom. Slayer then in 4th, ranked up due to penalties. Jimmy O in 5th. 6 goes to Infamous. 7 Landerbot. 8 Malox. 9 Dean Cunha. P10 last point is given to Royal Harvey. In P11 the Ace. Aces versus Kings. P12 is Chappie. 13 Cast of France. And not finished we have Mark Ainley, Official, and Ryan Van Doom. Yeah, just one race left in the second season to settle the ongoing battles in our rankings and overall standings. The last race will happen next Thursday evening at 9 PM of UK time, 10 PM continental. The stream always starts 5 or 10 minutes earlier. If you want to be notified, just hit the subscribe button and you will get a notification from YouTube when I'm online. We will then head to Sao Paulo in Brazil, where has always been great last season finales in the last years in the real life. For the moment, thanks for being with us. I'm Sepp Bauer and was very glad to be able to stream this race into your living room. I hope you liked it just as much as I did, and I wish you a very pleasant evening and stay safe in these times and keep racing.